Previously on Color Guard.
Counting the seconds to a silent song. Simply wondering when my life went wrong. Singing na 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 all night long. But like thunder you shook me. Your siren voice had called my name. Lady of violet eyes, make my life feel justified. Make the turmoil subside. Lady of violet eyes. Lady of violet eyes. Lady of violet eyes. Lady of violet eyes. I've called the scalding desert for a while, but lost myself a few moons ago. As I tried to burn my sins away, you gave me water, gave me shade, said it was gonna be okay. Your gentle breeze caressed me, a million points of light, and you lit up my world. Lady of violet eyes, make my life feel justified. Make the turmoil subside. Lady of violet eyes. Lady of violet eyes. Lady of violet eyes. Lady of violet eyes. When my eyes begin to dim, and I try to find comfort in all my pretty things, when the silence begins and the birds no longer sing, will you be there for me, love, even though I wasn't there for you? Lady of violet eyes, will you be by my side? Will you hold my hand and tell me it's alright as I close my eyes? Lady of violet eyes. Lady of violet eyes. Lady of violet eyes. Lady of violet eyes. under a broken disco ball. We feel intoxicated by the room, filled with junkie losers, flunkies, all trying to be cool. I straighten my red jacket and feel myself at home, faking confidence with the best, making memories with our phones. Outside the world is on fire, and it's getting harder to breathe. Inside the music feels so good. Why would I want to leave? 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 Everyone looks so pretty under the neon glow. Some intentions are shifty as some feelings start to grow. Some feel alone in the crowd, and some feel the need to atone. Some feel it's no longer safe and find shelter in musical tones. Outside the world is on fire, and it's getting harder to breathe. Inside the music feels so good. Why would I want to leave? 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 Bring it in. Outside the world is on fire, and it's getting harder to breathe. Inside the music feels so good, so good. Why would I want to leave? Why would I want to leave? Why would I want to leave? Why would I want to live? Yeah.
Stepping out into the darkness, I say goodbye to the light. Disconnecting from the masses, my own thoughts I will decide. I did not come here for pleasure. I come here seeking the truth.
Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the season 1 finale of Color Guards. We did it! We got here. Oh my gosh, thank you all so much. This has been such an amazing wild ride. We're so incredibly excited to have been on this journey with you guys and to see where we're going next. Before we get started tonight, we did want to give a huge shout out to some amazing people who, without their help and their support, we could not have made this first season of our live stream campaign possible. So, without further ado, we have to thank the roommates who just added on some amazing, fantastic music to our pre-stream, along with Svenny Baby, flipping the combined effort. We want to give huge shout outs to Arlington Citizen Media and Arlington Distorted, two podcasts who helped feature our live stream on their respective podcasts and being able to talk about the amazing things with inclusion in Dungeons & Dragons and RPGs in general. We also want to give a big shout out to Blonde Bomb on Twitch, who helped us out with graphic overlays. We have to give shout outs to Steven, Deedle, Tina, Taz, Kirk, all of our followers, all of our subscribers, everybody who follows us on all of our social medias. Thank you all so much. You all have made this first 14 episodes and almost 40 hours of online D&D content.
Oh, wow.
Something incredibly special, and we thank you all so much. A few other quick announcements. All episodes 1 through 13 are live up on our YouTube channel. You can find us at Color Guards RPG. So if this is your first time tuning in with us, as I and many others blasted this all over social media today, thank you all so much for tuning in for your first time, and you can actually catch up on all 13 previous episodes of our first campaign over on our YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. We also now have a functioning Facebook page set up, Color Guards RPG. Come join us, hang out with us. We share lots of really cool information there, cool articles about inclusion in Dungeons & Dragons, upcoming information and up-to-date stuff for what's going on with our stream, so definitely check us out there. Also, through all of this, through I think like the first 4 or 5 episodes, we actually became Twitch affiliates because you all are such great followers and supporters. So you can follow our channel and you can subscribe to our channel. And if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can get a free subscription. So please make sure to do that if you want to continue seeing such amazing content as what we have been producing. We are going to be dropping some info about Season 2 of the Renegades of Ravnica, Gilded Lies, at the end of this episode, so stay tuned for that, along with a awesome celebratory toast to thank you all and thank each other for such a super awesome job that we've been doing. And without further ado, as this is our Season 1 finale, stay tuned for a very special, extra-length recap of all the events of Season 1 leading up to tonight.
Previously on Color Guards.
Thank you so much to everybody who helped pitch in and helped do so much to get us to this point. We are so incredibly excited to bring this to you guys. You hear the vague, like, electrical hum of these devices just trying to, like, blindly attack whatever is going on. And you can hear one of the Azorius people going, like, "Stop in the name of what?" He kind of gets shocked by one of them because it can't tell anything that's going on right now. You are standing in front of a doorway lined with blue glyphs, and on the front of it is the Dimir logo. The door opens, and inside is a sparsely furnished room. This is one of the Dimir safe houses located here within Precinct. She holds one hand out. Her blue leathers, blue and black leathers that are strategically kind of positioned. They almost look chitinous or like shell-like, as they are kind of like pieced over her. And the one next to her on the other side is the very gravely injured and still bleeding form of Lady Vey. These serve perfectly well for crowd control and protection, but just as much for surveillance and observation. Up above, all unsheath their stun batons as well. And you watch as Van Cleef go, "No, stop, don't worry, they only respond to threats of violence, it's fine." And you watch as the 3 Thopters in the air begin moving directly towards the crowd.
I'm gonna take one of my side axes, and we'll walk up to Matisse and grab him. There's a thing, like I said, that we used to do in the Boros. You don't need your mouth to be able to repent what you've done. You have perfectly good hands. And I want to cut his tongue out.
People of Ravnica, citizens of the guilds. What a show. Mass crowd control, suppression of peaceful demonstration against Udsek, and this power grab by the Azorius and the Orzhov. These devices, and as I wave my hands, 3 Thopters will appear above me and start circling. These devices that saved the day at the riots were then brought to the Orzhov Gala. Invited in by the Orzhov, who also brought in heads of every guild and demonstrated their power. No, this gala was not a party, not a celebration. This was a show of force, and it was all bankrolled by this man, Matisse Urquhart.
As you come crashing down through the sky, you just see this fog cloud and scream, and your axe sinks into it, and you feel like it's starting to resist, and then all of a sudden it forms, and it is sunk into the chest of Matisse as you and he come crashing to the ground. And welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much to our fantastic director of photography, Zane Pena, for putting together that amazing recap. That gets you all caught up on some of the major plot elements that have led to tonight's episode. Think of it as that really awesome, previously on blah blah blah, when it's like a CW dramatic recap. It's so fabulous. Everything that we've had drama-wise that's happened has led to this moment, and we're super excited. So thank you so much, Zane, for putting that together for us so that you all can remain caught up on where we are tonight. So with that in mind, we are going to jump in after the group has had a moment of respite at the Crimson Curtains, following all of the insanity that was dealing with Matisse. With the group having turned over Matisse and everything that has entailed, and kind of wrapping up the Thopter conspiracy of that, every member of tonight's group, mechanically for you all, following along, are going to officially earn an actual legitimate rank in your guilds. So you all officially will be rank 1 with 3 renown in your guild. And basically what that means is we're going to get some story beats with each person tonight to kind of show where their current status is in the guild itself. So let's go ahead and start over here with our very own Lucian Zilzaxos, who has had quite the tumultuous 14 episodes of Color Guards. So let's go ahead and start over here. Most recently, we have seen your father praised and then persecuted for his potential role in all of the goings on with the Thopter conspiracy, so on and so forth, and has recently fallen out of favor with the Ghost Council of Orzhova, the immortal spirits that actually rule over your entire guild, almost kind of like an inner circle of a mafia. So, you having a bit more of an optimistic and positive outlook when it comes to the Orzhov itself.
Yeah. I don't appreciate you comparing it to the mafia. That's not cool.
I mean, we're just talking in stereotypes here. That's not actually what it is.
We could just say it's like a happy Italian family.
Yep.
We don't have to say mafia.
What it is. Nope. And when we say sleep with fishes, we legitimately just mean, nap next to
What do you think they do?
Of course.
Yeah,
Got it.
they pull the fish out next to the bed. It lays there,
Anyway.
You sleep on the bed next to the fish? Like,
Anyway.
As one does.
yeah.
So you are a bit more optimistic about the outlook, and you want to see, having gotten a peek under the curtain, and seen, proud of you, having seen some of the shadier dealings with the Orzhov, you want to see a bit of a change.
Yeah.
And most recently, the Ghost Council itself, through one of your spiritual ancestors who acts as an attendant around the home, has actually reached out to you to act as the next living, I guess, like, member to fall in line with the Ghost Council under your family's name. You struggled with this decision a little bit, reaching out to your friend, Luminitsa.
We're friends!
No.
Why would you put air
I
quotes?
don't know what you're talking about. I did no such thing.
We're friends.
You reached out to your friend, Luminitsa, for guidance about the matter, hoping to get their opinion on it. And in the end of it, ended up offering to Luminitsa, if you were to take this deal, for her to act as her second in command. So that brings us to today. Things have kind of calmed down. Everything has kind of reached a little bit of a small moment of respite. It's clear the Azorius are still trying to work things out regarding Udzek, so on and so forth, but for now, you are not having to worry about any of that. You are alone in your family home, looking over your law books, trying to prepare your next cases, so on and so forth, trying to get back to a sense of normalcy. Your spiritual attendants and your thrall, kind of like flesh golem homunculus attendants that work around the home, have actually set you up with your own office in the family estate. It is not quite as grand as your father's. Your father is actually staying sequestered in his office and in his quarters, of the family home. But they have set you up with one just off of the opening entryway in the grand parlor. There's a room right off to the right that is acting as yours. It has a big, very almost floor to ceiling, very tall stained glass window that overlooks the front gates of the home. It's acting as your offices at the time. And you see coming up the walkway, attended by a number of thralls and other low-level Orzhov functionaries that are just working for her. You see the law mage who was attempting to garner your favor before, and trying to get you to align yourself magically and idealistically with her. So you see her kind of like walking up the steps very quickly, so you have like a moment to compose yourself before she enters the office. What do you do?
I'm just like chilling with my books. I'm gonna give Bersvikian a mango.
You actually have, they have you set up like this beautiful silvered, like palette of mangoes, all of which have been like cored and peeled, and like they're just all ready.
That's nice.
It's a little messy.
I didn't know people did that.
I mean, for the man of the house
Yeah.
and his flesh golem,
Yeah.
of course they will.
Just a man in his flesh golem.
You know.
As
you
in the
do.
classic tale.
As you do. So she walks in first. You can see the flesh golems and the functionaries are kind of waiting outside. She walks in as you're kind of like feeding Bersvikian mangoes. Still doesn't actually know how to eat a mango, considering he doesn't actually have a face.
Yeah.
Just a gilded plate of gold. But he really loves smushing them on said plate of gold where a face would be. And she kind of takes a moment and swallows and acknowledges and just kind of like, we're going to just brush past that.
I've actually sliced the mangoes, and he has arranged them in a smiley face on his.
That's
on
the
his
most
gold plate.
horrifying thought that I will be haunted by that image.
And he has
for
little mango
days.
eyebrows, and if something
I'm-
upsets him, he like turns them so
It'll
that
be the
they-
next
I
icon.
hate that.
he can express himself.
Mango Bersmigian, love it. So she walks in. She just goes, "I am sorry if I have found you at a improper time."
What do you, no, this this is the most proper.
Of course,
times.
wonderful.
Would you like a mango?
I am perfectly fine, and I don't think I'll ever eat one again. That being said, I have come to see you about some of the different matters that your father and his people traditionally see to for the church. Now that you yourself are the man of the house, if you were interested in continuing to further your career, they could fall to you.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, wonderful. Bring them all in.
What?
And you watch as, like, file by file, people just, like, cart in, dropping books, just... The humans who do so, the functionaries, don't really give a shit, and you get the sense that they're kind of being a little facetious about it, as they are just kind of, like, dropping things on your desk in piles. Just mismatched. There are files and binders and everything of the sort. Some of which look quite organized and others look like they're just spilling out. Enough to almost cover all of your desk, except you have to pick up the mango plate. They put it on top of a precarious pile. And she pulls out one, and it is a rather large ledger book. And it is not quite what leather should be, encasing the binding around the outside.
No.
And the pages within have a odd sheen and an odd feel to them.
Oh no.
And she drops that one directly in front of you. She goes, "This is the ledger book for your father's section of the church. We'll see to it that you are properly acquainted with this matter."
Does it have to be in this format?
Does-
Can we like copy it over to a normal book?
Oh, all the work is to be done directly on that. There are no other copies.
That's
To make a
great.
copy is a violation of our laws.
Oh.
And I know that
course.
you are perfectly a man of the law. She gives like a little bit of a stink-eyed smirk, gestures the rest out, and she goes, "Well, I hope that you certainly enjoy your new position."
Are you punishing me? Is this because I didn't choose the magic school you wanted me to choose?
Oh, dear, this isn't punishment. This is just a really sick sense of amusement with all that you get to handle. You made your bed. Enjoy it. And she just kind of turns on her heels and walks out the door.
I wanted a bed next to the fish.
As you kind of peer over the ledger that's in front of you very carefully, trying not to touch it as much as possible.
Yeah.
Bersmigian actually offers to turn the pages.
Yeah,
for
that's
you if
great.
you'd
He
like.
can
Yeah.
handle that.
Because, you know, a flesh golem is used to touching flesh and bone and sinew and the other things.
Why are you
It's
describing it so much?
because it really bothers you, and I love it. And you can look in, and it appears that everything recorded within is actually recorded in dried blood.
Right.
Rather than like proper
Commit to
ink.
the aesthetic.
I meant when I
Looking
was
it
writing
over,
fetish.
roll me a since this is law matters, we decided that history is the law skill
Yeah.
that we've decided. So go ahead and roll me a history check because you're kind of looking things over.
9.
9. You're not. So you're gonna have to definitely spend more time with this because this goes quite a bit far back. It doesn't cover all of the various expenditures and things like that of the Church of Orjova. With the Ghost Council split up amongst 5 members, this is merely the ledger that covers what the Zilzaxos family is responsible for.
There's more of these?
There are 4 more.
Oh my god.
But you are not responsible for them.
Right,
You're
but still, they
responsible.
exist and they're in the world, and I know that.
100%, yeah.
Okay.
But looking it over, you're gonna have to spend more time with it, but there is definitely something wrong.
Okay.
And it's been like just a cursory glance, you can tell that like 1 or 2 things don't look like they should add up right,
Is it
and that they
tampered
should,
with?
but everything looks like it's been recorded properly as much as possible.
Did you do air quotes? I couldn't see because my.
super.
Oh, okay.
airquotes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Properly, all the props.
That's great.
So you kind of sit back in your chair a bit, a little bit overwhelmed of the task that's been presented to you. And as you do, you get another visitor to your home. You look out over the window into the courtyard outside, and you can see your dear friend, the one that you love so much, Leonesius, who has come to see you. Do you wish to straighten up at all? You have a desk just piled up with papers and files and binders.
What straightening
and
could I possibly do in the 2 minutes between?
Okay, great.
I've given up right now.
So, Leonesius is bid enter. He walks in and he goes, "Oh, that's certainly a unique form of ledger."
You don't have to be polite. I think it's quite disgusting myself.
Great. Can you remove it from my sight?
Yes,
1, because
but-
it's absolutely horrifying. 2, because technically I'm a rival law mage, and I probably shouldn't be looking on at your family's books.
Bush McGinn, please take this somewhere out of sight.
Bruce McGinn just goes, and it, like, closes it up. His hands are so super sticky with it. He goes to walk away, and all of a sudden he like kind of like tucks it under one arm, but then he realizes that that's his shorter arm, so he tucks it under the big arm, and he holds up a really tiny hand for like a piece of mango, and he takes it, and he turns and offers it to Leonesis. And Leonesis is just like, well, part of me is disgusted, but this is so adorable. And he just kind of like holds up his 2 fingers and he picks it and goes, "You know what? Thank you." You just see Bruce McGinn kind of like walk off out of the thing. He goes, Leonesis kind of looks at it. He goes, "Honestly, I don't know if I should eat it given that he just touched that, but okay, I couldn't. Okay." And he just kind of sets it down on the desk and he kind of looks on and goes, "So it looks like business is booming."
Yes. My father's business is now my business.
Great. How's that working out for you?
I have no idea. I've been covered up to my neck in paperwork all week.
Good lord. Okay. How do you want a break?
Yes.
I feel
Oh my God!
great.
Please.
You and your friends have been a bit. How do I put this in like the night? No, it's not a nice way. You and your friends have kind of been dicks. But at the same time, you all did something pretty great, and you've somehow managed to keep in contact with me. So let me buy you lunch.
That sounds fantastic.
Great.
I think you'll find that I'm a different man now. I've gone through a lot since the last time I've seen you.
Also, now that you've agreed to this, I'm going to be pressing you for information because I need a little bit of help with the case. Great, come on.
I let my
And
guard
he,
down
like,
for
and he
one
turns
moment
and
with
walks
you.
out. And you just kind of like get up from your desk, turn and look at all of the piles and piles of files on your desk and all the things that, through the agreements and decisions that you've made, have now become your responsibility.
Great. This is not what I was expecting.
Close and lock your office and head off to lunch with Leonesius. Now we're going to take a little bit of a turn and look on over to Luminisa.
Okay.
So Amiri has tasked you with stopping by her office for a meeting.
Okay.
things have gone pretty great for Amiri. Getting the recognition that you deserved, but that she took
Right.
for all of the things that you did at the Orzhov Gala that night, as well as making various connections because of it. Things are looking pretty great for Amiri, given that she's kind of got a little bit of the praise that's due your direction. So Amiri calls you into her office, sitting you down, and you can see there's a little bit of kind of like commotion around her, like as there are people kind of moving things, packing things away.
Okay.
So she goes, yes, sit down. Thank you so much. Thank you. All of you can leave now. Thank you. I'm in the middle of a meeting. This is work. I know many of you don't understand how this works. Can you go now? Thank you. Good Lord. I can't even with menial labor.
She can't even.
She can't even.
But thank you for stopping by, my dear. I wanted to personally thank you. Because of your actions and your diligence in your work, things are going quite good for this office. I have been, of course, praised many occasions because of the work that I have done. And we are moving up in the world, as it were.
We.
Yes,
Hmm.
we. No longer will we be handling tithe taking amongst the general citizenry. I have a interesting job offer for you, and I think it's one that you'll quite enjoy.
Okay.
How would you like to take tithe from us?
Take tithe from. How so?
Well, of course, every Orzhov member has various debts that we all accrue accordingly. Obviously, somebody must be responsible for that. And despite masking it somewhat vaguely, I've grown to understand your bit of discontent with the way that we do things here. So, how would you like to be the one to take care of that?
That
for
sounds
us?
like the quickest way to the gallows. So I don't know if you're throwing me
Oh.
under the bus or if you're offering me a job.
No, this is perfect. We get to be the one to enforce things within our own borders. Obviously, this mess with Matisse and with Zilzaxos and whatever the hell else we just uncovered. Many people have some hidden skeletons in their closet that obviously we have not abided by. So now it is up to you and I to see to it that we uncover those various things. And obviously they must pay penance for their sins.
How official is this? Where's the paperwork?
Oh, right here, darling. And she pulls it out, and you can see it is a fresh, clean ledger. And at the front of the page, it's signed with a number of other ministrants and two pontiffs, higher-ups that are actually members of the respective families themselves. Probably closest to, like, Papa Zilzaxos level of, like, legality.
And I know this is legit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I'm intrigued. What exactly are you wanting me to do?
Oh, the same job that you've been doing, darling. Just investigating and reporting and properly doling out punishment to those who need it. Just those within our own house.
I'm all for that. You know what? Sure. Why not? It could be fun.
Oh, it will be fun. Just saying, the more people that we manage to find and the more people that we manage to clean up after, the better you and I look. And the higher up you and I get to keep on climbing.
And how much is it going to be we until it becomes you?
Probably about as much as it has been.
Fair enough. That's an honest answer. Okay. I am intrigued and interested and want to see how far this goes.
Great. Well, things are going to be quiet for a few days. The Azores are still trying to scramble and make their groundbreaking on Udzik happen in the next few days. So take a couple days, enjoy a nice little break. You've definitely earned it. And come see me at the end of the week. We'll get started.
And you are my immediate supervisor.
Oh, always.
Okay. Sure. Yes, I'll take the couple days. What about my books? My old books. What happens to them?
Oh, well, I assume they get passed on to whoever's responsibility it will be now.
I want to keep them. Let me keep those accounts, and I'll help you.
Roll a persuasion check.
That's fine.
She goes,
Damn.
you know, I never took you for somebody who's a bit of a go-getter, but...
I don't think you ever took me as anything. So it is going to be interesting to see how this partnership works out.
Good answer. Take them. They're yours. You can find them in the box at the end of the cabinet.
Okay. So I'm going to grab them and take them.
Okay. As you grab them and go to walk out, having been excused, you open the door, and similar to the afternoon where you had lunch with the Anisius, a black, I guess like cloth napkin falls out from being wedged in the door.
Cool. I'm going to just take it and just keep on going, like as if it was trash on the floor.
Okay.
And just take it with my accounts.
Great. As you get outside, you you pull open the main back door, and another one falls.
Good night. Okay, I guess I'm just going to keep
And
looking for these
give
black
me
napkins.
so give me a perception check.
14 plus 4, so 18.
Ooh. Looking over, you can actually see, it's not quite a napkin, but it is a larger bit of black fabric that's kind of like wedged in a doorway, a little bit across the plaza in what kind of looks like a little bit of like a derelict, like smaller chapel church building.
Okay. I'm going to go towards it. I'm annoyed because this is so dramatic. And just go to the door and open the door.
Okay. As you open it up, you look in. It looks like this entrance right here is one that leads up to the bell tower. There's a kind of spiral staircase that leads up.
Okay. I keep going up because this is the most dramatic extra thing that's happened. Okay, continue.
Thanks. As you reach the top, you find in the when you reach the very top of it, roll me a perception check.
So a 22.
Good night. Yes. As you start to reach the top, you actually look, and it's kind of the actual bell tower portion itself is broken in various places.
Okay.
As well as the door itself is, and you go to walk up and you stop, and you take one more step back and you look in, and as you kind of like peer your head a little bit to the left, you can look over, and all of the broken parts of the bell tower and the door create the symbol of the House Demir.
Okay.
And you can look over, and right in the center of it, far across the way, maybe like a street or two down, is another very tall bell tower.
Okay.
But when you reach the top of yours, you look over, and there is a black lacquered box
Okay.
with a single just kind of like latch on it.
Oh, I'm gonna unlock the box or like lock pick. Oh, is it? Oh, you said I don't have any
It's
access
just, no,
to.
it's,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
just so you unlatch and you open it up, and there is kind of like blue satin fabric, and lying in the middle of it is this piece. It's black metal. It looks almost like maybe like a conch shell, or like a shell or something.
Okay.
And looking it over, it looks like it fits over your ear.
Ooh, okay. Do I know anything about this? No? Okay. Shit. No, I'm not putting it on. I'm gonna hold on to it and go to that other ball tower. That's exactly what I'm gonna do because I don't want to put this.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
quick.
That's a 9 plus 4, so it's 13.
13. So looking across the way, it takes you a minute, and you go like you're gonna like turn away and start heading towards that, and you stop and you see a blue piece of fabric just kind of like catch in the wind across the way at the bell tower, and you see the shape of a person just kind of like lean out, and you see the symbol of the Demir kind of emblazoned on like the black piece in your hand.
Okay. I guess just very begrudgingly, I guess I figure out what to do with this. So I guess I put, I don't, I'm so
Okay.
afraid of this thing.
Okay.
I guess I put it on my ear. Oh my god, I don't like it.
Okay. You put it in your ear, and you wait for a second, still kind of like looking over, and all of a sudden you hear a voice. She goes, "Well, that certainly took you long enough."
This is so extra. This is so dramatic.
And you recognize the voice as Lady Vey.
Oh, okay, cool.
She goes,
Okay.
"Well, that certainly took you long enough."
Well, I mean, what is with all this cloak and dagger shit? Why couldn't we just, and it's precinct 2. What are you doing? What's the point of this? You're not even the person I need to talk to.
Oh, sweetheart, you made it.
Made it what?
They've been incredibly impressed with what you've managed to do.
Okay.
You stopped that entire affair, and you did it all. No, you become like me. Become an independent agent.
Oh, so injured and the line of duty.
Well, not quite. Because the Strigoi will be keeping her distance. She'll be checking in, of course.
Okay.
But you and I get to be, well, not quite partners, but as much as we can be while working alone.
Oh, I guess you can't see my squinty eyes. I'm skeptical of this. I don't, I don't like this Demir, "Ooh, I'm gonna tell you one thing and it means another thing." Just tell me what the fuck we're doing. What's the game plan?
Pick up the blue fabric in the case.
Okay. Fine. So I pick up the fabric in the blue case.
Inside is a like a spyglass, like a
Oh, hey, cool.
thing.
Okay.
She goes, "Take a look over here."
Okay. So I do it.
You peer out and you look in, and she's kind of like holding off of one side of the bell tower with a hand and her feet in, and she looks over you. And as you peer in, roll me a perception check at advantage since you were peering through a spyglass.
Okay, so 19.
Good. Very-
17. So
Come on.
So you said perception?
Yeah.
So that's 23.
23. So looking over, you can see that she's got like a very tight bit of blue fabric now that kind of like covers half of her face. That's kind of wrapped up in, and it kind of continues on as maybe like the scarf that's blowing in the wind with it. And she pulls it down a little bit, and you can see her lips have been completely sewn shut.
Damn.
And scarred. She goes,
Damn.
"All of this may be, as you say, extra, cloak and dagger, and very unnecessary. But this is what happens when we defy them. We chose this life. Tread carefully."
Okay. Gonna process that.
Continue doing what you do. Get information. Keep watch on the Zulsaxos boy.
Okay.
Find ways to get information back. If it's something necessary, she'll find you. And if you ever feel like you need a bit of assistance, reach out. As long as we're within a mile of each other, we can continue to communicate.
Okay.
But don't let anyone see you with that device.
Roger. And then I just take it off, collapse the spy case, and just, or spyglass, pocket both of them, and just leave.
Okay.
That is the end of that for me.
Great. And Mimi has a lot to process between all of the various people who are trying to influence in your life. And that is going to bring us over to Strunbathone, our amazing Loxodon monk who has been Loxodon stealthing and Loxodon punching and
Loxodon jumping.
Loxodon jumping.
Loxodon hugging.
Yeah, lots of Loxodon hugging. This is true.
And mangoes.
You have spent a quiet couple days in your garden, tending to it, especially the slow-growing moss dog that you planted from before.
Yeah.
When you are actually interrupted by Selene, Velatherian, your wolf-riding friend, who asked that you attend him to Vitugazi. He has a surprise for you.
To Vitugazi.
Yes.
All right. Certainly.
What is that?
Vitugazi is the living tree in which the Selesnya call their home. It is the closest point of connection to Mat Selesnya, the world spirit of Ravnica,
Oh,
where the Selesnya conclave gets its name.
oh, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it's great honor.
As you continue walking, or as you continue following him along, you can actually see a number of members of Selesnya kind of like stepping out into the street as you walk, and kind of like giving praise and kind of like nodding acknowledgement of favor. As you continue walking along the kind of like outskirts of the trunk, these large promenade-esque walkways that kind of have been built up along the outside of the trunk, he leads you along one branch specifically that has this grand, I guess just kind of like outlook at the end of it. And standing there is your mother, Melastrun.
Oh, great.
And alongside her, on the opposite side of where she is standing, you see two dryads, both of whom you've met before in your travels. The dryad who overlooks the Drake Nest Grotto that you saw that was near the construction zone, Dynia.
Yeah.
As well as your Voda from the Caserna training grounds, where you originally trained Sarai, who you had met before.
Yeah.
Both of them stand there, and Selene kind of gestures you forward to the center of this gathering and says, Melastrun, I have brought your son, Strunbathone, here to see that he is properly honored and made a revered member of our conclave here, and named Evangel amongst our people.
Wow.
An honor given to those who will venture forth among the other guilds, spread the word of what we believe and do here, and continue to spread our influence and our beliefs among the others.
That's an incredible honor. Thank you for all of this. It means a lot to me to be able to speak on behalf of the guild. That's something I've always dreamed of. I feel now I finally have a place, an opportunity to really help out.
You see Mela just kind of turn, and she nods at the two dryads, kind of shakes her head at Selene, and goes to walk past you out of the clearing. As she gets next to you, she just kind of turns to you. Just goes, I hope you know what you're doing. And just walks past. The other two dryads look on, wait for her to clear, and turn back to you with a smile. Just go, do not worry. She can be hardened like the trunk of Vitugasi here, but she will bend and see to your ways. She will understand.
Well, there are many different forces in the world, even within the beauty of Selesnya. There will be those who cause strife and those who cause peace. And in the end, there will always be balance. But here we all are as friends, and it's truly... I'm just overwhelmed by this. Thank you all for being here so much.
See, the two dryads kind of hold out one hand to you and one hand out to further in the tree, and you can actually see about 4 branches nearby all kind of bend down towards this platform, and you see just this spiraling tendril of vines and plant life kind of coming down from them, and they pour into the outstretched hands of these dryads, and as they hold their hand out to you, just this sparkling white and yellow and green energy just kind of like pours off of them, encircling around you, leaves and greenery just kind of swirling amidst it, until settling over atop your head is a almost kind of like vine and bramble crown, just kind of like a little like inlet that has the symbol of Selesnya at the front. And you
I
can
love
s-
plant crowns.
and as it as it settles over, you actually have new vestments,
Ooh.
kind of long flowing robes, deep vibrant greens, with light green and yellow accents all down around it. And you can actually see there are a number of places along your robes where in plant life they have the other symbols of the guilds along the sleeves of your arms.
Oh, cool.
Say, we hope that you continue to serve Selesnya well and act as a beacon of hope for all of those who would seek our aid.
Always. Always. Thank you so much.
Sarai turns to you and says, if you ever feel you need more training, you are always welcome with Selene and I. Diana says, I unfortunately have been relocated here. They could do no more, and my grotto and many of the others are set to be permanently taken with the groundbreaking ceremony here in a few days.
And what of the drakes?
We have found new homes for them. They caused quite a stir in that workshop that you all needed to clear out pretty quickly.
Yes. I can't thank you enough for your help.
Of course.
But I will be sure to visit you, and I'm terribly sorry about the intrusion upon that sacred land.
It is fine. Nature dies. Nature begets nature, and nature is born again.
You do have a point. I just wish that they would let nature determine that and not the other
Humans.
guilds. Yes, exactly.
I understand. Don't worry. We will do what we can.
Of course.
Please, go see to your friends. I'm sure they would very much enjoy to hear the new status placed upon you.
Absolutely. And I'm going to give everyone a big Lockstar hug.
Including Selene's wolf companion.
Oh, yes.
Oh, absolutely. He
I
gets the
love the wolf
biggest.
companion.
He gets the biggest hug.
He's so
He
perfect.
gets his own hug.
Oh.
Have to pet best boy.
So you head back and check in with the rest of your companions. Try to meet once a day. Everybody is, for this purpose, everybody is at the Crimson Curtains.
Oh.
Grabbing a drink. And so there is a bit of a time for everybody to fill each other in on what's been going on. You all walk in and you can see Thone in his new Selesnya vestments with his kind of evangel crown on his head.
I like your crown.
Thank you. It needs more flowers, but I'm pretty happy with it.
Are you what is What's the occasion?
Oh, I got
Maybe he's getting married.
promoted.
You got
Oh.
promoted?
Promoted.
Yeah, I get to spread the word of Selesnya and our peaceful goals to other guilds and hopefully help prevent all this combat and strife that's been going on.
I wish you luck.
I
on
know.
your endeavor.
Isn't it wonderful? I'm
It's-
so excited to spread peace and love. Who wants a hug?
No.
Everyone wants a hug. I
No.
love it.
Thumb.
As you
I'll take
as you
that.
do so, you actually hear a chime up behind you. A very familiar voice goes, "Well, I wouldn't be opposed to one." As you turn, you see the almost regal-looking form of Soboslav.
Oh, damn.
So, hey!
Well, I see some of us have come into more fortune.
Well, I mean, I'm still the same though.
I'm counting on it.
I'll give him a big hug.
Oh.
As you kind of like wrap your arms around him, you all watch this little spore cloud erupt in the air a little bit.
The same thing that happened to me.
And what brings you here?
Oh, I did some asking around and took me a few days, but I wanted to properly thank all of the people who helped put that terribly evil man Matisse behind bars.
You mean put your rival behind bars, so now you can do whatever you're planning to do.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Well, I mean, if you think you're gonna get away with whatever you're thinking, I doubt you will.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any plans.
The enemy of our enemy is our friend.
No, absolutely not.
Because everyone's our
Again,
Even our enemies.
this man just knows. You're going to make a wonderful evangel.
friend. Thank
What
you.
brings you here?
I just merely wanted to express my gratitude, buy you all around, and bid you happy endeavors in the future. I am sure our paths will cross again.
Well, it's much appreciated.
Are you alright? You seem a little tense.
You seem very out of place here, and
Oh,
I'm
of
wondering
course.
what really brings you by.
Again, I just wanted to express my gratitude.
Don't waste your breath there.
Well,
so
then-
he's not gonna do anything.
Don't worry, I'm sure I'll see some or all of you at the groundbreaking of that magnificent facility in a few days.
Yeah, I'll break their ground.
I'm
Perfect.
sure we'll see you then.
I look up from my mountain of paperwork. Sloboslav, when did you walk in?
Just dark circles under your round eyes.
yeah. There's like 3
You're
mugs
looking,
of coffee.
you're
just...
looking quite a bit more ghastly than you usually do.
Yeah.
Just
Don't
very
forget,
pale
you've got that
skin.
whiskey I gave you.
Oh yeah, I have a 5 o'clock shadow. Except for me, it's just like a pube mustache.
Oh. No, Lucia, no.
I can't help it.
Poor little boy.
Old enough to grow a
Soboslav
beard
just looks
yet.
down and goes, "We'll get through it. I remember those days. They were quite a while ago."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, cheers, everyone. Maybe your next endeavor will turn out as fruitful as this last one.
Yes, cheers to fruit.
Indeed. And he kind of just turns on his heels and walks out of the establishment.
That was such a nice surprise.
What did he want?
Was it? Really?
Ah, I miss Fungus Man.
What-
No. Well, why don't you go follow him? Be,
No, no, no,
be...
no, 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 no.
You mean
Stay-
Loxodon stealth?
No, stay here. Stay here.
Okay.
Okay.
Why was he here?
He
To
wanted to
try
entice
and-
us.
On us.
And why are you all upset?
I don't know why
I'm
they're
not.
upset.
You realize that he's just as bad as Matisse, right? If not worse.
Everyone's just as bad as everybody else. They all want something, and they're gonna use anybody they can to get it. Like, why
How
are
could you?
you gonna treat him any differently than you treat anybody else on the street who's doing the same thing?
God damn.
Absolutely.
I mean, he does have a very good point about
Let's see,
everyone
God,
except
why
the
is
loving
that?
community of
I
Selesnya.
know.
Everybody
He just keeps.
Everybody at the
just-
table win.
What's in those files, man?
All I've learned is
Does
that
he
people.
have the book with him? The weird.
He's got
weird
all the-
flesh
No,
book?
no, I would definitely not bring that
Okay.
out in public.
He's just got
That
a
stays
book.
locked in a smell-proof drawer that I only go into when I need to.
What is it that you're so busy with, Lucian? Honestly.
I don't even know right now. I've just been writing the same word over and over for 20 minutes. Ministrant. I lost my track somewhere.
What
Oh,
ministry? You. We need to go talk. And I want to just point to a room. That's
I
open.
really don't have time
No,
for that
you
right
have time
now.
right
I have
now.
to keep
You
writing
have- you
Ministrant to
have-
the bottom of the page. And
You have time. It is about something we talked about. Please meet me in the other room.
excuse me for a moment.
Would you
As-
like me to write ministrant for
Yes,
you? I'd be more than happy to.
please.
Absolutely.
As this happens, as you both stand up at the doorway, you actually see the Great Mother, like looking on and just kind of beckoning to Korak.
If you excuse me.
And now that we have a few, let's go ahead and move to you outside, and we'll come back to you two indoors in a minute. The Great Mother kind of pulls you aside and goes, "I'm very sorry to disturb you when you are amongst your friends, Korak."
Totally fine. I think that conversation was going someplace I didn't care for.
I am very sorry to alarm you. There has been some goings on in the clans that I felt you should know about.
What is that ogre trying to start something because of...
Well, not that one.
Not that one.
The one,
Oh.
Orberigmos, has
Oh.
called all of the clans together. Apparently, our more public endeavors recently has caused a stir amongst the clans, and there are whispers and judgments, and Orberigmos has not come out and said it, but there are those who seek to challenge his leadership. This is not a time that we can be separate, even if we do not believe in his ways and we do not believe in his teachings.
Then I understand, but perhaps there is need for a new leadership then. Someone more spiritual?
You flatter me. I do not seek to challenge Orberigmos in
Oh,
combat.
maybe not you. Maybe I could do it in your behalf.
There is much that you have to learn, Cora, but it's not to say I think it's a bad idea. Just not the right one yet. We're being called back to the clans, but that does not mean that we have to continue to obey everything they say. Come with me. Study with me. If you truly believe, as I believe, that Orberigmos is no longer fit for leadership, and his ways will not properly make the way for Ilharg, come with me. Let me show you what you can truly learn amongst the Gruul.
I have one more thing to do. After that, I will return and
course.
we will train.
Spend a day, 2, whatever you need. Be with your friends. I'll be waiting for you when you arrive.
We
Really?
will show them. We will show them that soon the world will be thrown into fire. As you have so taught me. No.
She performs the ceremonial bow, and you perform it back. Come find me when you're ready.
Of course.
And she heads out. You two.
Okay. So we pull you into the room basically because you're just like still with your stuff, and I'm like, all right, I need you to sit right now. Fine, good. I have 2 questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
One, why are you letting Amiri take credit for what I've done at the gala?
Excuse me?
Yeah, I want to know why.
Why are you letting Mary take credit for what you did at the gala?
Why don't, break the charade and tell him it was me?
Do you want me to do that?
No, I want to know why you didn't do it, though.
Because you didn't want to.
Okay, second question. What do you want to do on the Ghost Council? What is your game plan after you looked at all your father's stuff?
Well, I spent the last few months, is it? When did we...
Who knows?
I spent the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
How long has it been?
Since the Matisse fight?
Mm-hmm.
Like a week.
I've spent the last few months, it feels like months, looking through all of the old ledgers and histories of the houses, and I've been trying to ascertain whether the same two-facedness I saw in my father also exists on the Ghost Council, and of course there's only one answer to that question, and it's probably, very likely, maybe, but possibly not. I don't know. There's a lot of conflicting things written. It's a soft maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I need to find out more. I need to interact with him face to face. But I envision a kinder, a more just Orzhov than the one my father helped perpetrate.
What does that even mean? Like, what does that entail? What is a just Orzhov?
Well, one that doesn't take advantage of people, for one. One that, uses their monetary gains to actually help those who are in need without imprisoning them.
So, I pull out my old account of Tithe Collectors. These are all people that don't actually owe money to Orzhov. These are people that are just doing their job, and Orzhov conned them, or took money, and made them put themselves in debt. What would you do with these people? What would you do with this ledger?
Well, the past little bit of time I've been striking names out where I think they won't be noticed, trying to leave a paper trail that looks like maybe they've paid their debts back, but doesn't lead to anything concrete, enough to get somebody lost and bored far before they'd ever come to the end of the trail. But I want a more concrete solution to the evils that my guild is inflicting upon Ravnica.
That's a more generic answer. What are you going to do with this ledger?
This specific one?
This specific ledger.
This ledger looks like it's your responsibility.
And if I throw it in the fire, what would you do?
I wouldn't say a word.
And then I throw it in the fire. And I throw it in the fire and I just throw it there when I watch it.
When it hits the fire, Bruce Megan actually poofs into existence.
Oh, okay.
And he kind of stops and looks at it and looks at you.
What are you
And
doing
looks
here?
at the fire and looks at you.
What is he doing? What are you doing? I've
It's
never seen him do this before.
It's
Excuse me 1 second.
Roll an insight check.
10.
10. All thralls, no matter who their owners are by Orzhov law the property of Orzhov, and thus must protect Orzhov property.
I lunge and grab him real quick before
He doesn't jump into
Yeah.
he's still obeying your rules,
Yeah.
but because Orzhov property was starting to be damaged, he appeared.
Oh, see, Versmigian, she tripped and it fell into the fire. There's nothing we could have done.
You're just gonna.
I'm sure you'll be a good little troll and won't tell anyone, will you? Now have a mango.
Oh!
And then he poofs. Away.
I'm very concerned about that.
You and me both.
I've never seen that happen before. He only comes when I tell him to come. I didn't know he could just show up anywhere, unbidden.
I'm in.
For what?
Second hand. If that is offer is still there, I'll be your second hand.
Are you good with paperwork?
No. But I am good at other things. And I am good at keeping blood away from things that don't need to be bloodied. So, if the offer still stands, I want it.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I do. I need someone strong. I need someone who can keep me on the right path and keep me from falling in, as my father did.
We need to keep this between you and me, as of right now, because it can't be something that we can do. And also, I just came into a job that will help us. Amiri, Minister Amiri, the woman that has let me manipulate. She wants me to be a Titeker for Orjov itself. So I'm gonna go for the Tites of the Guild.
Oh,
Yeah,
that could be incredibly useful.
exactly. That's why I needed you to answer those 2 questions, and I'm in. And I leave. Just leave without effort. Yeah.
You walk down the stairs. Guess Lucian takes a minute. And Fitch starts following you. As you see a somber-looking Korak walking back into the Crimson Curtains.
While they were out, I would like to look through Lucian's papers and see what.
Great.
What
Roll me a history check.
History?
Yes.
13.
13. So, given the law books that you've stolen from Leonesius and things, you have studied a book or two for it. You get an idea that these are various series of books on, like, one of them is an actual book on Orzhov law, and another one appears to be just a notebook of scribblings from Lucian.
Just like I'm just like.
All work was it not
What has been
play?
scribbled in said notebook?
I was writing a list of ministrants that haven't completed their tithes, and then I just stopped and started writing ministrant over and over again.
Oh, okay,
Oh, okay.
great.
He broke.
So you have a number of names of ministrants, and then just ministrant, 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 ministrant. Oh, look, and Korak is walking back in the...
I'm going to write these words eventually. I
Dreadfully
might as well
boring.
get them written now so I can use them.
Oh, I see. You're just.
And you see
Yeah.
you all look and see a somber-looking Korak walking back in, looking...
As somber as a minotaur
Like,
can look.
as is it looking a little bit more distracted than usual.
Did everything go well with the Great Mother?
Well, the clans are being called back together, and who knows, I might be attempting to overthrow the current leader.
Huh.
Bold choice.
That's a very bold
Um,
choice.
Which,
We support you.
yes, so that means I will, for the time, no longer be in contact with you all. I will still partake in the thing we talked about.
Oh, of
Which
course.
is tomorrow night.
Good. I was hoping you'd at least be here long enough for the show.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't miss the show for anything.
Good.
But my time here will be done.
Well, I hope you find
the
a
moment.
leader that's more Selesnya friendly. Our guild
I
looks
don't-
forward to working with Gruel in more positive ways.
Already working that event.
Yeah, he's
yes.
already schmoozing. He's got this.
He's making tea dates. It's great.
That's still a long time coming, but perhaps maybe in time can be of help.
Glad to hear it.
Well, you know you have friends here
Who knows? Maybe I'll stop by.
if you need them.
If you ever need anything, I don't know what I can do publicly, but there is a good amount of money I can help you out with.
Lovely, but we don't believe in money, unfortunately.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's not my thing.
No, Gruul believe in blood and combat and honor and
It's a bit more
killing.
visceral.
So if you go to the market and you want to buy some bread, you just give them blood? How does it work?
If you want to get literal, yes, we either buy it or we steal it or we threaten the person with their life.
It's more of
I
a,
see.
think from what I understand, it's a bit of like a commune thing. Everyone kind of pitches in.
Yes, there's lots of we have family dinners.
We do a lot of trade in Selesnya.
See, this
Well,
makes
probably
sense. Trade I
based,
understand.
but not with.
I'm just imagining the little orphan kid with the bowl of soup. Just like a bowl of blood, please, sir. May I have some bread? Like, God. Oh, man.
It's a little, all I get the gas.
So
Come on,
expensive
headcanon,
and
y'all.
Blood dry.
It's fine. So you all spend the evening drinking up and spinning out a little bit of time. The very next evening, tomorrow evening from this point, is Darrison's premiere as one of the performers of the mock turn. And this particular mock turn, because Darrison is a performer and he knows, traditionally non-performers do not know the location of the mock turn.
That's right.
But
Good.
because it is performed across Ravnica in all manner of places. However, the location for this particular mock turn is going to take place just outside of the staging ground for Udzek,
Nice.
the Azorius Maximum Security Facility.
Why not?
And you're all invited, and if you'd like to be in the show, you can, because it's kind of about us.
No. What? Wait. What?
Awesome. I'm bringing my sign.
Wait.
It's a new one. It says Boozek to Udzek.
So, that actually works wonderfully. I can write that in very easily.
I guess I can attend. I was really looking forward to staying home and having a nice bubble bath. But
Let's go. Let's go back.
Before music to Uzdek.
Boozek to Udzek.
Oh my god.
Okay. No. What do you mean it's about us?
It's not. So I've taken some creative liberties
How much
with
creative-
the content, but I wanted to regale the people with the tale of how these heroes of the guilds brought down Matisse and brought balance and security back to Ravnica for the time being.
Are there
at least.
puppets?
No.
There can be for
Sort of.
anybody who doesn't want to participate.
Sort of is more than
Puppets.
enough. Excellent. Yes.
A little
I'm
bit
so
of
excited.
magic, a little bit of fire and flare, you know.
are you using my name?
No.
Why not?
I've
Oh.
Oh,
No.
I had.
No.
Well, I
no.
had backup names, but if you want,
Ooh, that name that you gave me.
yes.
Yes.
Can we think of a better name for me?
If you'd like, what have you got?
Well, actually, no. No, I take that back. Let's use my name. I'd rather. The clan's already stirred up as it is. Let's.
You can use
Let's-
Stone too. That's
Correct, though.
No.
Let's
no.
make.
If you.
There are also the
Can use
false
a
goblin
Miri.
names.
Gentry.
Can use a Miri.
There's Gentry.
Mary.
Could use a Mary.
I mean,
No,
you
she
like
doesn't.
double-
She doesn't
I
need more of an ego
honestly-
boost. Can you just keep me out of it?
I mean, if you'd
Gotta
like.
put her in it. She's such a good
no,
friend.
no.
She
A
was
shadowy
shadowy figure.
She was
a
so
shadowy
instrumental
figure.
to-
You know,
No.
honestly, you're right. I feel like a shadowy figure could really add some mysterious and some allure to the show.
As long as that shadowy figure
Just
doesn't point towards me.
unnamed, unseen. Yes, deadly, deceptive. No, I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay, and keep his name out of this.
No.
Yes.
No.
Why not?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to build a brand here. All right. I need. And part.
He's gonna come out with some new Yeezys for his brand.
And part of garnering power within my own guild in order to shape it to a kinder, more compassionate path is building this brand.
That sounds so kind and compassionate.
I got the idea from you, though.
Oh, that means so much to me.
Alright,
I-
fine.
I just picture Zolzax with Quack fans.
Fine, okay, fine. Just as long as I'm out of it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I understand. Louis, you don't like the spotlight.
No, the spotlight kills people. Did you not learn anything from the last thing we did? Or the last thing you did? I wasn't even involved in this. I was
I
talking.
thought it was a great
I
thing.
was just
Those
talking to somebody.
people have had their just recompense, and people will now know not to tread where LeMay men walk.
So, you all agreed to meet up with Darrison. You all agreed to meet up with Darrison the next day. Those of you that are all three of you participating in it, or are you just keeping your names? in it?
I'm
I can participate in it?
Participating? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can play your own
Oh,
part.
no.
That sounds
Are
great.
you playing your own part?
Oh, someone's really bad at acting. No, I want to see someone play Thone.
Yes, thank
Great.
you.
Thone would get a
There will
blast
be
out
a
of that.
puppet version of you.
Yes, absolutely, with a separate trunk control.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
It's
one of
gonna be
those.
3 people
Yeah,
at
no,
least.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's like
Lion
Lion
King.
King.
Yeah.
Bet there's a Lion King Loxodon
Absolutely.
man
Oh
acting
God.
as you. So you all arrived the next day. Was there anything else that you needed to do beforehand to prepare?
Just my typical group round them up.
Yeah, of
help
course.
some illusionists.
Of course,
and
of course.
Things like that.
So you gather up some of the other performers from the Crimson Curtains, and you arrive, and the mock turn is set up on this series of wooden scaffoldings on this very dark, stained wooden stage that looks like it has been stained in all manner of fluids. Right in front, like probably on the opposite corner of the block where the staging ground for Udzik is planned. 'Cause there's a lot of openness around, obviously, where it's going to be staged, and it looks like they've at least kind of squared off, like where the building itself will end up being. But there's enough space to where, like, on that far corner, they've built up this scaffolding around it. And there are Azorius folk there. As a part of the Guild Pact decree, they cannot actively impede the performance of the mock turn. It is one of the few performances in which it is actually sanctioned to be performed, as it is meant to be a mockery and a satire of the guilds themselves. And so this is one of the more, like, probably what should be official ways that the Rakdos perform in Ravnica society, but, like, also there's blood and demon worship and, like, pain and all of the various things that Rakdos gets its
Fun stuff.
yeah, the fun things. But this is kind of like a marrying of the two. So you check in, and they've given you slot 5 of 20. So they haven't given you, like, the first couple slots. You don't get, like, the act break or, like, the return performance of the right now you're still kind of like, cool, did we get somebody for this slot right here? Okay, great,
That's
good job. To kind of like just fill in the time.
They'll get them nice and warmed up.
Yeah,
for
of
me,
course.
and-
Bet.
no.
And baseball is called cleanup, and that's always a good spot. So there we go. Anyway.
So as you all prepare for your performance, the first couple performances come through. There are series of jugglers. There are a pair of goblins performing in these humongous wheeled contraptions. Think of like the people who do almost like the very overly large like hoop dancing.
Oh.
However, it's covered in spikes and on fire.
Cool.
I love it.
So they can kind of like hold themselves within it and race around and perform acrobatic tricks at almost like impossible speeds within these things. It's kind of terrifying and really, really awesome to watch. Are you watching the mock turn?
Yeah. I'm in the
The
area.
crowd.
Yeah, because I gotta keep an eye on
Yeah.
this one.
So your time for performance comes up. At the one before then, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Moving around.
That's fine.
Come
Jeez.
on. You spot 2 individuals that look out of place to you that you're not anticipating. You spot Soboslav,
Okay.
who is at the far edges of the crowd. And rather than like the usual crowd that is around, you spot a remarkably clean elf with aquatic-looking features. They don't appear to be wearing any like specific garb, but all of the clothing that they are wearing is like remarkably well kept. It's well maintained. It's cleaned, and they're just kind of like standing at the back of the crowd, kind of just looking on.
They're together?
No, these are like these are the people that caught your eye. So kind of like
Okay.
casing the crowd. Everybody else looks like standard Ravnica fair people who would like actively come and watch a bunch of people. But like these are the people that you kind of like look at and you're like, y'all do not look like If I'm painting a picture, y'all two do not fit
Yeah.
this.
I'm gonna go stand over by Slovaslav. I'm gonna go hang out and go over where he is.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool, great. As the show begins, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Darrison to start his show.
So I come out up here again in a cloud of flames in full
Full entrance
mask,
look, bad.
eyebrows,
Got to. It's called branding,
hat,
everyone.
cloak, everything, and just
You actually say that to Lucian before you walk about. Be like, Lucian, this is how you do branding.
just plucking away on my lyre, like this haunting little intro music, kind of setting the stage as like smoke and flames start to rise as it kind of builds this scene behind me of the Procene Basilica as it's slowly being put together as I address the audience.
Go ahead and give me a performance check.
It is 13.
13? Okay. Cool. You see it's starting to pique the attention of the crowd. Whenever a performance starts, you kind of get that raucous crowd, not really caring if like the show is going on, just kind of talking amongst each other. Then as they continue to they just kind of like stop and they're like starting to pay a little bit more attention. Still some of them are chattering, but like everyone's kind of starting to look on towards the stage.
I will keep playing as I slowly walk up the scaffolding as this building is being built around me until I'm standing on a recreation of the rooftop mausoleum
With the
garden
broken,
and everything. Yeah.
the broken stained glass behind
Yeah,
you.
the big broken stained glass and everything. Tonight, I shall regale you with a tale of the final chapter of Matisse Irkvitz, a man we may have heard of before, if you're familiar with my work. The man...
You actually hear a cry out from the crowd, more like Urka shits! And it gets like a few like cackles and crowds. And you actually like look up and you can see Alicia throw like some huge fucking thing. It just slams in his head and he kind of like falls to the ground.
Damn.
And she just kind of looks up and she's like, sits back down.
Get it, mama.
It's this kind of place.
The man who orchestrated this entire Thopter conspiracy, who sought to subjugate the people of Ravnica. And tonight we will see how he was brought to justice. And I will disappear behind the mausoleum as my friends and puppet versions of my friends, for those not present, make their way up into the audience and...
Can I get performance checks from everyone?
No.
And can you two roll for your respective
Oh my
performers?
God.
No.
Not using, just make a d20 roll
What?
for yours. Ooh,
Oh,
puppet.
my puppet's doing well.
Oh no!
Right.
Puppet's got
I landed
17.
an 8.
Cool.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 5.
Damn.
There's a-
It's okay. We cover it up with a little bit of illusion magic.
Okay.
That's what it's for.
are you re-entering?
I have not yet.
Oh, okay.
This is-
Okay, cool, great.
Um,
Lucian, in a fit of nerves,
Aw.
and a little bit of stage fright, doesn't like quite know what to do, and looks like that kid that's just kind of like looking around the stage for directions. Maybe like tugging at their outfit to make sure it's in the right place. Just I don't.
What do I do with my hands?
What a,
What
yeah,
are my
one of
hands
your
doing?
hands is like posed and ready, but not doing anything. You're Shakespeare handsing. You're Hamlet handsing before it's even starting.
everything you do up here affects your brand. I hope you know. People are watching.
That's
Why would you say
you
that?
hear like some quiet chuckles. It's just like.
But then out of the doorway to the mausoleum, this black smoke billows out as it plumes up into the air and forms the figure of Matisse.
the
Way
Phantom of the
more,
Opera theme plays.
absolutely,
Da-da-da.
over the top, much more like scary and malicious and kind of like
Full organ sounds.
much less human than he looks. Very like monstrous
Oh,
version of how he
okay.
looks with like skeletal fingers.
It's like
and
Babadook, Matisse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I will appear on top of the mausoleum and hold up the Orzhov charm like I had and crush it, and the Orzhov symbol in the stained glass turns to that, like, ignites in flame and turns to the Rakdos symbol.
And you see him like kind of like recoil.
As he,
from it.
yeah.
Roll me a performance check. At advantage, because that's like kind of boss as hell.
16.
16? Oh yeah. As the Rakdos symbol emblazons over as you crush it, and all the simulated lights just kind of like flicker and turn like really dark and crimson. You just hear cheers through the crowd. They are eating this up. As the flames erupt around to kind of like illuminate everything, and they kind of like illuminate over the crowd as well, you peek out and spot a very familiar looking elf with aquatic features far at the back of the crowd.
And the show must go on. So then all of the statues in the mausoleum, like 8 or 9 or 10 of them, like tons of them, all like break free and turn into these gargoyles, and they start swarming around and like harassing everybody as they're like battling them off.
Some of them fly out into the audience, the illusory ones, and start haranguing the audience out there.
And then some of the performers that are like in the wings of the stage start throwing spiked chains out and like pulling them down to the ground and ripping them apart. Sprays of blood and fire and all that good stuff.
Lumi, you actually look on and watch as this is happening. A well-dressed Devkaran elf walks up to Soboslav and kind of like pulls him aside and starts whispering into his ear, and Soboslav hurries off. Continue.
And then as the gargoyles are like ripped off the stage and torn apart, and I like stand up all the way to the edge of the mausoleum, almost seeming as if I've become larger and larger as I walk forward with this like forced perspective, like battering Matisse into the ground as he like recoils in like fear from me, and then he like poofs apart into dark smoke, and all of the lights go out, and the entire stage is covered in darkness. And you can just like hear these haunting sounds of like screams and squelches and thuds and battle sounds.
Alright. How about it?
And then a single spotlight on me, now center stage. And like this looming form of Matisse forming in the shadows just at the edge of the light as he like points one like long skeletal finger down at me, and I writhe and pain and twist and turn on the ground as this, you can see me like grasping my head as this magic starts to take over my body as he bends me to his will.
As you writhe and convulse and turn on the stage, when your body pulls up in one of the convulsions, you can't help but look again at the aquatic elf just staring at you.
Do I notice this?
Face unmoved. But I'll roll me a insight check.
4 plus insight, so
6. You seem too distracted by Soboslav,
Oh yeah, that's right.
like hurriedly exiting. Darrison, make your next performance check at disadvantage, as you are a little distracted.
12.
12.
I'm professional.
He like when he like goes to like force you up, it takes like a second one, and it doesn't look like anyone noticed, but like you noticed yourself, but you just kind of like just brush it off,
Roll off
baby.
my rhythm.
Work it
Roll
out.
off the
Okay.
rhythm.
And you rise to your feet.
And then, like, the light spreads and you can see all of my friends surrounded again, but I've now drawn my rapier and we like duel and
Both of you
fight
roll
each other.
performance checks.
Oh no.
Jonathan and
Oh no.
yep.
15.
6.
Okay. You hit all of your marks, but like a good beat late, but you still hit them.
Oh yeah. That's
But
Matters,
what
right?
did you get correct?
15.
15. You were on it. You've been a part of Darrison's Axe
Yeah,
before. You
of
know what
course.
it entails. And to you, this is kind of like a good little swan song with your friends. Like one last hurrah, and you get to relive a pretty epic moment. So you made sure you were on it.
And then, like, as I'm like dueling and fighting against my friends, you can see me like struggling against it. But the shadowy form of Matisse is over me, like pulling the strings like a puppeteer, as he forces me to fight all my companions. And they like slowly battle me backwards into the mausoleum, where I disappear into the darkness, and Matisse like shrinks back down into the mausoleum. And then this pink mist slowly like seeps out and makes its way off to the edge of the stage, and the stage itself starts to shift and turn and like create this like forced perspective of us standing at the top of this tall building, like impossibly tall building. As you see him this mist try to slink away.
And I don't even think we have the budget for a rotating stage, but bet there's a rotating stage.
Yeah.
It does it for you.
It's
Come
illusions.
on. Come on.
Playing
Put it
with
out.
perspective. As this cloud seeps away, and then as it floats down off of the side of the building, Korak comes running and leaps off, battle axe in hand.
Correct. Roll me a. We'll say an athletics or a performance check at advantage.
Well, I'm gonna take the 15.
15 athletics. So you set yourself up like a wrestler getting on the top ring, ready to like somersault down in, crack your neck a few times, pull out your battle axe, ready yourself, give a look out to the crowd, maybe like a Babe Ruth point, and your axe hits the illusory pink mist.
As it strikes the cloud, like the lights go out and does like this like silhouette effect, and you hear like a crack of thunder and like see this spray of blood, and then the mist coalesces into the form of Matisse as it's dragged to the ground and chopped in half as Korak lands.
And the entire crowd just. The first few folks to the front edge in the splash zone, covered with a little bit of blood, just grabbing each other's heads, just screaming into each other. They are living for it.
Turn into a mosh pit.
And once more, the aquatic elf is just unmoving and unfazed.
I come out and like raise Korak's hand up like he's like a champion.
Like boxing.
Oh yeah.
As I beckon the rest of the performers out, and we all take our bows and
Take your bow, Lucy.
make
It's
our
okay.
way. I'll grab his I grab Lucian by the hand as well and kind of lead him
It's
through
okay,
the
buddy.
whole
It's
thing,
okay.
like, and bow and up and bow and exit. I turn him and kind of usher him off stage as the lights come down and the show comes to.
As you exit off of the stage and you see the next folks starting to perform, you looking out, you see the aquatic elf stand and go to like walk down the street. I guess like the opposite way of where Sovaslav has left.
Okay.
Darrison, you watch as they go to they get to the edge of the crowd. You all are kind of exiting, almost kind of how they have at concerts, where there's that edge of like bare like area down in front where they can actually like walk down. You get down to the edge of that, like the edge of the crowd, and you see them just kind of like turn and look at you. Continue walking a little bit.
I turn in the opposite direction and I walk away.
Okay.
I take my costume off, I put it away, I blend in, I just try to make myself unseen.
Okay. And we will pick back up there when we return from break. Thank you all so much for tuning in for our season 1 finale. We're going to wrap up a few more things before we start getting a brief glimpse at where we're going to be heading in season 2. So stick with us after the break. Thank you all so much for sticking around, and we will see you then.
What side of the deal did you borrow? Did you steal? Did you lose control? Did you let go of the wheel? How do we get by and not lie? 'Cause I'm burning alive from the inside out. Got a one-track mind, trying to turn it around. Got to lay low, find a new path. You can feel the heat coming off my back because I'm burning alive. But I still got the will to survive. When there's no one left to blame, when the image in the mirror looks different, but inside you feel the same. Nothing's changed, and you know it won't do you any good, and you got no room to complain. They already call you crazy for putting all your faith into nothing but a maybe. I'm telling you, there's no way to get by and not collide. 'Cause I'm burning alive from the inside out. Got a one-track mind, trying to turn it around. Got to lay low, find a new path. You can feel the heat coming off my back because I'm burning alive. But I still got the will to survive. Burning alive from the inside out. Got a one-track mind, trying to turn it around. You got to lay low, find a new path. You can feel the heat coming off my back because I'm burning alive. But I still got the will to survive. Burning alive, but I still got the will to survive. But I still got the will to survive. But I still got the will to survive. 'Cause I'm burning alive from the inside out. Got a one-track mind, trying to turn it around. You got to lay low, find a new path. You can feel the heat coming off my back because I'm burning alive. But I still got the will to survive. 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 But I still got the will to survive.
more time with you. So tell me, because I kinda find it funny, not even making lots of money. How'd I end up with a girl like you? I think it's going alright. We can take it the sides. When we turn up the lights, we're gonna Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill
Hey, so like, I don't know, I had a really good time with you, and I hope I get to hear from you again. But I mean, if this is just Netflix and fucking chill, I am so done with your big fat fucking goofy ass. I hope you're not out with her right now. I hope it makes me sad.
I think it's going alright. We can take it the sides. When we turn up the lights, we're gonna Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill
Sorry. I take back everything I said. Just delete this voicemail.
I'm really not that kind of guy who raise my voice or cause a scene. So this may seem strange when I say to go to hell away. And I'm not one to throw a rock or point a gun at anyone. But if you push me, I just may. And I'm drowning in this life I had with you. But I'll race my way back to the top. I'll never stop up through. I'm gonna make change right now, because I've waited for too long. And I'm ready to feel better than I ever had. Now that you're gone and I'll prove my senses wrong. I won't crack inside, I'll just crack a smile. And things can be about me for a little while.
And welcome back. Thank you all so much for sticking with us through the break. We're going to try to wrap up this fabulous finale. This has been a lot of fun checking in with everybody. But we do have quite a big storm on its way, so we're going to go ahead and try to get things moving, kind of wrap up what we can, and then have a nice little moment ringing in season 2 at the end of this. So, coming back to it, the mock turn continues on. Darrison gets out of his clothes, having been a little spooked by a bit of a familiar face. Do you stick around and watch the remainder of the mock turn, or you?
Nope, I'm going home.
Great.
Wherever he's not.
When you arrive there, as you go to your quarters, one of the attendants at the front stops you. Goes, "Oh, Darrison, somebody left a letter behind for you."
Fuck. I take the letter and open it.
On the back side of the letter, as you open it, it says, "Enjoyed the performance, D.S." And as you open it up, it is a file on all of the information that they currently have about Soboslav and his connections to the Udzek facility. And there is a separate page detailing the various actions of public record of you and your friends, with a handwritten note on the bottom that says, "Awaiting your personal report when you get a chance."
How much of it is accurate of what they've listed?
For
that
you,
me and my friends have done.
It is like the little bits of public record that are like known.
Mhm.
So it is like Lucian and Korak and Thone, and it says Amiri ? For the ceremony outside of the gala. So on, like it has like little bits and pieces of information, but only those that would be known publicly.
Freedom of Information Act, yeah. That's basically what happened.
And at the very bottom, you see stamped the Simic guild symbol, and next to it you see an identification number that you have not seen in quite some time. And it is the identification number that was given to you when you entered the Guardian Project for the Simic Combine.
I'm gonna fold it up and just stuff it in my coat and head upstairs.
The morning comes. Those of you attending Udzik head there. Are you attending, Cor?
No.
Okay.
I would have already left.
You left that evening?
Yeah.
Okay. So those who were around, correct, bid farewell to, and will be seen again at some point. But those of you attending the groundbreaking of Udzik planned for that day all arrive. And as you do, you pour in, and there are tributaries and functionaries and reporters and ambassadors from all of the guilds. There is probably a couple blocks away, sectioned off, a number of protesters and people that you recognize from the riots, who are being kind of like kept at bay, as it were. But given your recent standing, Amiri with you, you all have been let in for like the actual official groundbreaking ceremony. You watch as a few members of Azorius are there. It is important to note two things. The Guildmaster of Azorius, Esperia, the Supreme Judge, a Sphinx currently in charge of Azorius, is nowhere to be found.
Oh.
Oh.
They are not in attendance of this ceremony.
Huh.
And you spot Lavinia, still hooded, a little bit more discreet, at the outskirts of the audience, kind of like looking on.
Okay.
Not a part of the ceremony,
Right.
but kind of out, away from it all.
Okay.
And those taking part in it give a few words of just grandiose, like, plays for power. Is it like not even like heavily veiled? It's all thinly veiled.
Yeah.
We're not even trying to hide the fact that this is an extreme accomplishment for them and pretty much them alone. But this is something that is very, very important to them. All of you roll perception checks. Don't do so at advantage because this is hearing.
Well, I have perception damage anyway.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
17.
22.
8.
18.
18. Darrison, you are still a little bit more distracted than you would care to admit. And the three of you have actually noticed this. Darrison's
I'm kind of scanning the crowd
and kind of
maybe
like
looking kind
a little
of
bit more
suspicious.
skittish than he usually is.
Okay.
Pretty suspicious.
Not his regular self at all.
Okay.
I've also tucked my tail away.
Oh.
I've been a bit more lax with it. lately,
Back
but
to the way
it's
that he's
definitely
been before.
Okay.
gone.
It's now much more just discreet, Darrison.
Mm-hmm.
But the three of you, it's very low at first, and you're not sure what it is, but it almost feels like this very low rumble in the ground. At first, you kind of just like feel like you hear it a little bit, and then you feel like it just starts. It's almost maybe like a little bit of a vibration. It's not a full rumble.
I get ready to step out of the way.
And you see like little bits of dirt on the ground starting to move, and it's starting to get. It starts to feel like it's noticeable. You're not sure. You start to notice a few other people in the crowd start to notice, but they are continuing on with the ceremony, talking a little bit louder than maybe they were before, and they go to hand off a shovel to the man speaking, and he takes it and he turns, and he walks into the middle of the facility, and it takes him a bit because it's a very large facility is planned here. And they have laid out like a little walkway all around it. And you see him start to notice it, maybe about like halfway in. It's not heavy, it's not like shaking, but it is like a little bit of a rumble. And you start to hear like a little bit of like murmur in the crowd and so on and so forth. You see Lavinia kind of start to actively be on edge. And she's keeping like one hand inside of her cloak, almost like tucked back behind her. And he walks all the way out to the edge, and he takes the shovel. You three roll perception checks for me.
10.
12.
15.
You notice, with your immaculate large ears, as it were, you hear amidst the rumble the faint sound of insectoid-like bugging or buzzing. And as you watch as the Azorius person shoves the shovel into the ground, all of the ground in the middle of this facility starts to sink into the earth. And just kind of like starts falling in on itself, and he almost like is scrambling away, and you see a number of Azorius law mages rush to the edges of the building facility. What are you all doing?
Oh, I'm grabbing Amiri and we're running towards the edge, I guess, as way from the middle as possible.
Getting to high ground.
I'm going my sign and cheering.
Climbing.
Amiri's just like, let's get me to somewhere I can see, just away.
Away? We need to get away from whenever this is happening.
I still want to see it.
Oh my goodness.
You watch as it continues to sink, and now all of you can hear it, and the buzzing is getting louder and louder and louder.
Jesus.
And then, almost out of nowhere, a bit of the ground bursts open a little bit in the very center, and at first, very small bugs and beetles begin flying into the air, and then ground erupts, and huge flying crawl from the Golgari erupt into the air, one of them dragging the body of a man behind him and thrusts it into the air at the crowd. I need all of you to roll perception checks.
9.
18.
12.
10.
10. You all look on, and unconscious, blood dripping from all orifices, and looking even more desiccated than previously, you see the now dead body of Soboslav being held forward in this claw-like appendage of this insectoid.
Whoa.
These almost desiccated and ripped wings constantly shaking, keeping this insectoid aloft as he holds it out and he drops it to the ground. Do any of you speak crawl?
I'm sorry, speak what?
Crawl.
No.
No, I don't.
Wasn't
Like
even
the,
aware that was an
like when
option.
you're on the
Like
ground and you're
insectoid.
crawling?
No,
Oh.
K-R-A-U-L.
No, I did
This
not.
is an insectoid race
not
of the
speak that.
Golgari.
No, I only
Absolutely
speak
not.
Great.
Elvish.
So this creature begins speaking out, and it is this very fast, eclectic array of like clicks and hisses and just like insectoid sounds. Amiri grabs you on your wrist, and holds 2 fingers to her lips and 2 fingers up to yours.
Okay.
She has cast comprehend languages on both of you.
Oh, cool.
So now you
Yeah,
or
okay.
tongues. So
Okay.
now you two can understand what he is saying.
Okay.
And it takes a sentence or two, but he is going, "Gone are the days that we will bend to the will of the elves. We are done. The Golgari are not just one, we are many, and we are most." And he holds his hand down, and spilling out are even more crawl that just fly into the air. Many of them bringing the bodies of many dead Devkaran elves, dropping them into the ground. And slowly crawling out of the ground, you see fungal encrusted and very pristinely kept zombies crawling their way onto the earth. Nobody is moving, nobody is doing anything. And some of them are the fungal zombies, probably that those of you with experience down in the Undercity might have been familiar with. However, there is another group of zombies, and these look immaculately dressed, like they are courtiers. Their bodies well preserved and well maintained, heavily lacquered and preserved in various oils and things like that. Absolutely dead. No eyes within their sockets or teeth. But they are all well preserved, and you could swear a few of them look like they have a smirk or two amidst them. The one at the very height of it all holds out his kind of appendage, his insectoid appendage into the air and says, "Those of us who have been held in captivity and subservience shall do so no longer. With the help of the erstwhile," and he gestures down to the well-preserved, almost regal, almost noble zombies, says, "We shall take back what is ours for all of Golgari and for all of us." And they immediately swarm back down into the ground, and you watch as the fungal zombies and the regal erstwhile stay just in a perfect circle, completely surrounding that little circle from where they burst up from the sunken ground. And everybody just stops. And that is where we will end season 1 of Color Guards. Thank you all so much for joining us on this fun adventure. We will definitely be picking up there with season 2, as the Crawl have now declared civil war with the other races of the Golgari amidst the current ruling class of Devkaran elves. So we will see what that has in store for our group next time. Thank you all so much for tuning in for season 1. We are very much looking forward to seeing where we will go in season 2. Thank you all so much for your support. Continue to follow and subscribe to us. We will continue releasing videos throughout of other things, doing re-releases of season 1. We are currently planning on officially releasing season 2 and starting back live streaming with season 2 in July. We will be officially posting that date here shortly, so stay tuned to all of our social media pages and everything like that with more information on our Facebook page, our Twitter, Instagram, Discord, all of those. We will continue to release more information. And do still check in with us here at Twitch. We'll have a few fun, casual things planned until we officially join back. Maybe not actually on Sunday night, but occasionally on an off night or two here and there as we're kind of getting everything going. But stay tuned on all of our social media pages, and we will fill you all in on what is to come with Season 2 and beyond there. Thank you all so much to all of my amazing players. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this ride. This has been so much fun, and I can't wait to see where I get to take you all. We have bid farewell to Korak Ironhoof this evening. However, Eric will not be leaving us. We will be reintroducing a new character for Eric at the beginning of next season. Korak will still be waiting in the wings and still a contact and a regular part of the city. But as we have seen, goings on in the Gruul are happening, so we will have to see what comes of him later.
Yes, which there might be some sneak peek art
There you
eventually.
go.
So you may see my new.
If you are so inspired and want to share some of your amazing artwork with us of our characters, of the mango-loving Bersmiggy and so on and so forth, please do share it with us. There's ways to do so on our Discord, on all of our social media pages. Please do let us know. And before we wrap things up tonight, we are going to do a special toast to all of our cast, all of our crew, everybody who has helped us get to this point. We want to take a moment to celebrate with all of you. So if you will give me one moment, we will be back with a fabulous champagne toast.
Oh.
So I will leave all of you to discuss what just happened. I will be right back.
Blood runs deep. Hold on to all the pines that you don't leave. From the worst of you, all splattered on the ground. Collect your stuff, please. There's a better side of you to see. Forget everything and let music take you there. Find your noise. Fills the hole inside yourself. Gives you slack to grab onto. Find your sound. When the world kicks you around, keeps you ticking through and through, keeps you ticking through and through. Self-control, your lack of it will start to eat your soul. So make the best of you before you're in the ground. There is harmony, very down past your cacophony. Listen closely now and maybe you can hear. Find your noise. Fills the hole inside yourself. Gives you slack to grab onto. Find your sound. When the world kicks you around, keeps you ticking through and through, keeps you ticking through and through. Keeps you ticking through and keeps you ticking through and keeps you ticking through and keeps you ticking. Find your noise. Fills the hole inside yourself. Gives you slack to grab onto. Find your sound. When the world kicks you around, keeps you ticking through and
It's bad luck.
And welcome back, everybody, for our toast. First and foremost, I need to give an amazing congratulations to all of you. You all have stood by my side and have become amazing partners in crime in this absolutely fantastic endeavor. Some of you I got to meet strictly through this, and this has been an amazing, amazing opportunity to meet fantastic new friends. And this could not be done without our near and dear Zane Pena, keeping us beautifully seen and wonderfully heard through all of this, and doing those
Even though you
absolutely
can't-
fantastic, amazing, amazing recap videos. He's
Even though you
been
can't see
rocking
or
it
hear him,
out,
he's-
right? You can't see
You
or
need
hear
to
him,
come
but that
into
means
the
that he's
shot.
doing his job. And all of you, thank you all so much for believing in this. This spawned out of a fever dream and a random passion, and this has turned into something absolutely incredible. And we get to count ourselves as members of an absolutely incredible online and local community who continues to support inclusion in gaming and inclusion everywhere. So thank you all so, so much. Here is to an amazing 14 episodes of our own live stream LGBTQ D&D game, and here's to many, many more. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, awkward.
Alright.
All right. Cheers, everyone. Thank you all so much. I hope you have an absolutely amazing night. Follow us on social media for more information on Season 2, where you can catch what's going to happen with this terrifying Golgari Civil War. And we will see y'all next month. Thank you very much.
Have you ever been done by love before? Have you ever wanted to say, I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you. I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you. Too empty bars too many times. I've been strung out, battered, alone and outside my mind. But with my mates here by my side, I reckon I'll find me. Have you ever been done by love before? Have you ever wanted to say, I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you. I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you. I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you. I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you, I choose my friends over you.
Hotel in New Orleans, souls looking like silver screens. You said it was a roller coaster, eyes looking like a natural disaster. I must be it. Hearts bursting at the seams, projecting